It's your girl Jay.
And I'm Kendra, and you are watching Mood Swings, the podcast. Hey, girl. Hey, how are you today?
I am doing wonderful. I'm glad to see your
Good.
face. Weekend, we just celebrated my baby's 23rd birthday. So
Exciting.
we just did a little night on the town since we live in Vegas. Did a little
Yeah.
free streeting. We didn't even do the strip. We just decided to just kind of do some local things and do that. And she was really happy with the amount of people that was able to show up for her and just hang out. So I am feeling great. But I am feeling a little uncouth because, girl, I got myself a can. I didn't even give myself a glass of the Casamigos margarita. We're just gonna go ahead and open it like
Wow.
this, like
Uh-huh.
that.
Uncouth
Yeah, I'm gonna drink
style. Uncouth style.
uncouth style. It's cold, but it's just gonna come straight from the can. Yeah, so I'm feeling a little uncouth today, and I'm drinking my Casamigos straight from the can. Okay, but I'm feeling happy.
I-
How about you?
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Me, I am drinking my Chardonnay, but it's the Chardonnay I love called Clos de Bois. And I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not, feel free to correct me. But I think it's called Clos de Bois. And it's a nice oaky Chardonnay that I love. They also have a buttery one that I'm not crazy about, but this one, love it. So that's what I'm drinking today.
Chef's kiss.
Hmm.
Because you're not a sweet fan.
Not, do not bring any sweet wine over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Do not.
Unless the wine has chocolate in it. Other than that,
That is the only exception.
dessert wine, yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what's your mood for today?
Oh my gosh. My mood is excitement and my mood is jubilee. It's, I feel invigorated. Oh god, I have so many moods today because I'm going to be talking about something that is near and dear to my heart and that is affecting millions of women, and we're all going to be able to relate and have a good time. So I'm excited. That's my mood. What about
Well,
yours?
actually, I woke up and I feel that I was thinking it was just my social battery because I was just entertaining for an entire weekend starting on Thursday, for a
Yeah.
long weekend and up to 22 people, right? So, today is the first day, actually, the last, 5 people left at 4 o'clock this morning, and I was able to finally decompress, and I think I was like, "Okay, maybe my social battery is really depleted, and I'm feeling just really, like, just down and low and stuff like that." But, girl, it's probably my menopause. I forgot about that because I was up at 1 to from 1 to 4, so that could also be it. What about you?
You know what? That's the perfect segue for me to talk about what I was going to talk about on today's show. I mean, you guessed it. It is, in fact, perimenopause. So let's get right into. Oh, and before we do, let me just say tonight's episode is sponsored by hormones. Hormones that have absolutely lost their mind. How do you make a hormone? It's a joke. How do you make a hormone?
I know, I
It's
just thought of
a
what you
joke.
just said. I'm not sure, how do you make a hormone?
Don't pay her. You can use that in your stand up, girl. You can use that free of charge, no
I
royalties.
I
You got it.
can't. Thank you so much, I won't.
Mhm.
But you're stupid.
Okay, so all jokes aside, really today's show is sponsored by a company called The Spoiled Mama. The Spoiled Mama is a woman's owned company that specializes in everything that you need as a mama in this world, from lactation to pregnancy to aftercare. Everything you need, you can get it all at The Spoiled Mama.
Well, tell me a little bit more about, Spoiled Mama.
So I use this hair serum called Hair She Is. It's really been great. It's been a godsend. I love it. It has a great smell. It feels good. And I'm finally starting to grow back some of that perimenopausal hair loss that I was so worried about.
I'm so glad because, I started to see some thinning on this side of my hair, especially because I also have anemia, so I started to lose some hair, and when it was growing back, it was growing back
Hmm.
sparsely. I'm gonna look
Mm.
that up and see, and we can go ahead and continue to keep our listeners up to date with our progress. I love it. Shout out to Spoiled Mama.
The Spoiled Mama on Instagram. It's the Spoiled Mama. And you can mention the show's mood swings for your 10% off discount code.
All right. Yay. Okay, Kay. Well, I guess that leads us right into your specific segment of the day. And I'm all ears because I think I'm really going to benefit from this conversation today.
Listen, if you are anywhere in the age range of 30 to even 55, you are going to benefit greatly from today's show because it is all about perimenopause, right? And here's the thing, I don't think anyone ever prepared us for perimenopause. Like, we've all heard that menopause was coming, it's going to be a thing. We've all heard that, right? But we've heard minimum shit. We've heard, like, oh, you're going to have hot flashes and it's right, your period's going to stop. But I don't think enough has been said about perimenopause, or as I like to call it.
Fuck that dude. Fuck Perry. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. It's
Fuck him.
just
He
like,
don't have a vagina. He doesn't know
eh,
anything.
no, he doesn't. He doesn't. It's a lot, and I feel like perimenopause is like the pregame before you get to the big game, which is menopause. But the pregame, to me, in my opinion, is far worse than the actual menopause, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Apparently, when your body turns 40, like, it opens up a group chat with your hormones, and they all decide to quit all at once. Like, estrogen's like, "I'm out," and then progesterone is like, "Me too, bitch." So let's talk about exactly what perimenopause is, because even for someone like me, that I feel like y'all all know I'm a science and facts girl, I'm looking up stuff, I'm working in the healthcare industry. I really did not understand what perimenopause was, or maybe I should say I didn't understand it. I didn't realize all the shit that goes down in perimenopause. So let's just get into some facts right off the bat.
So, our lack of education starts in the school system where we just learn about the birds and the bees and the female and the male reproductive, and that's basically it. We have a baby and that's it. And that's it. That's the rest of our lives. There's nothing else we need to worry about.
So
These
true.
predictors. Cute.
So true. Yeah, and I feel like they should, when they are teaching health science, which, sex ed, which they've named health science, when they're teaching that, they should be teaching about menopause and perimenopause, because it
Uh-huh.
took me by storm, baby, by storm. So
Uh-huh.
perimenopause usually starts somewhere between 35 and 45, but it can start even earlier than that. So women even in their 30s, right?
And we never got taught from our parents. Our own mothers
Mm-mm.
to marry through menopause, and we knew nothing about it.
Yeah, and I think it comes from they not really having any information about it, because no one is studying. Do you know how underfunded any type of women sexual reproduction health is? Now, there's been tons and tons of work on erectile dysfunction, but when it comes to perimenopause, it's like, you're on your own, which is is mind-boggling to me, because 50% of the population will go through this.
Yeah.
There's like, maybe she might go through menopause, maybe she won't. Every single woman, whether you've been able to have children, not have children, it can, so like I said, it goes from ages 35 to 45, and it can last anywhere from 4 to 10 years. Okay? 4
Girl,
to 10 years.
I thought I was done yesterday. I found out that I still had, like, years and years to go. But,
I
you
always
know,
think I'm done, but I'm
but
not.
here's the bad thing is that every year you've noticed in every generation, women, young women or young girls are starting their cycles much earlier in age. I think that menopause is gonna start a little bit earlier as well, and we're gonna have a lot of
Earlier.
women in our 30s who are gonna be sterile because we can't reproduce
Ugh.
anymore
Oh
because
my
of this
gosh, that's so
our
crazy.
environment. Yeah, the environment we're in, the lack of education, the lack of research, the lack of getting on it right now. We learned how to maintain it or um to treat the symptoms, but we never actually learned how to actually cure the actual
Yeah,
process we gotta go
yeah,
through. Yeah.
you're absolutely
So
right, and here's what's wild about it. Over 1,000,000,000, do you see me? Billion with a B. Over 1,000,000,000 women worldwide will be in menopause by 2030. By 2030.
wow. There you go.
That's 4 years from now, right? And
Mm.
so, and remember, the symptoms start years before your period stops. So here's my thing. I didn't realize that I was in perimenopause at all, and I know when mine started. It was right in the pandemic, and I remember specifically because I had a very specific symptom, which I'm gonna get to, which I didn't learn until years later that, oh my gosh, that was perimenopause. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so it's a lot. It's like your ovaries just start slowly clocking out like an employee on a Friday night, right? Like an employee on a Friday evening after work. It's just like, I'm gonna sneak around and make sure no one sees me, but I'm clocking out this bitch. I'm done.
Absolute girl, I'm so at my wit's end right now, not knowing when I actually started. It could have been things symptoms that I contributed to my anemia, and it could have actually
Yeah,
been the menopause, because guess
yeah,
what? Out of all the doctor visits, all the hospitalizations, all the transfusions, nobody's gonna tell me anything about that until I fought for 4 years to stop the situation that was happening with me,
right,
because, and I had to fight for own medical rights to get that done. So, uh,
right.
girl, you preach to the choir right now. I love it, though. Keep going.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, when your body goes into this, what I call revolt, right? Because that's what's happening, and your hormones are they're leaving, your estrogen is plummeting, your progesterone is plummeting, you're having all these crazy symptoms. Sometimes your period stops, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it gets heavier, sometimes it gets lighter. It's a whack-a-mole. Like you don't know what you're gonna get, right? But
Mhm.
once those start happening, you're not physically in menopause until you've gone 12 consecutive months without a period. And here's my thing. I get to the 6-month mark, I get to the 8-month mark, I've even gotten to the 10th month mark. And I'm thinking, "Okay, I'm about to start. I'm about to go into menopause." Then a period starts. And I'm like, "Mother."
Yeah, I don't have a uterus, so I don't have a cycle. Well, I mean,
It's even
never
harder to
ever.
tell.
So
Yeah, it's
guess
even harder to
again.
tell. Yep.
Mhm.
Because and I'm so glad you brought that up because even if you don't have a uterus, your body is still going to go through menopause. It's no way but to go through it. It's certain if you are a woman.
I thought
It's
you were gonna
certain.
say
There's
if
nothing
you
you
don't have a uterus, you are still a woman. I was like, "Yes, of course, bitch."
can do. So let me just say this. It is a perimenopause comes with a haunted house of symptoms. I'm just going to read a couple. Okay, irregular periods, anxiety,
Mm,
insomnia,
mm.
weight gain, brain
Oh,
fog,
oh
mood
boy.
swings,
Shit.
joint pain, dry
Uh,
skin, low
oh,
libido, night
what?
sweats.
Oh god. Wait, are you
Do you
just
have
reading
any of
just
those?
some of them, or you're just reading all of my symptoms?
That was
In
10.
fact, again, I will have to sue you for HIPAA because you are reading my freaking medical record right now.
Man, that was only 10 symptoms, but doctors think that there's probably a myriad of over 30, at least, at the very least, 40 symptoms that are all caused by perimenopause. So it's more than just hot flashes. So when you're going through something, don't let anybody tell you that it's just hot flashes because it's more than that.
Right.
Now, hot flashes are probably one of the most commonly shared symptoms because it says here that 80% of women experience hot flashes. So 80% of them. And let me tell you this hot flashes really wasn't my thing at first. I didn't really have hot flashes at first. I never
Mhm.
even knew about hot flashes until um, once I got my diagnosis that I was in perimenopause. It probably took a good 6 months after that before I had my very first hot flash. But let me tell you this. I remember vividly the day I was in the grocery store with my sister, and I was like, "Damn, I feel it like I could feel like this slow burn." I'm like, "Looks like it's getting hot in here." Right? And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm hot. Oh shit, I'm hot." And it was just me and her in the car at first, right? We're in the parking lot. And I was like, "Let me
Uh,
get the hell out of here. It's hella hot in here." I get outside and it's like some nice cool air. It was probably April, so it wasn't really hot. I'm like, okay, that's good, that's good. And then I go in the store, hot again. And now I'm sweating like I never sweat before. All of this, straight Whitney Houston. All of this, all
just,
beat it up, just beads of sweat all over my top upper lip, on my nose. Yeah, all of
oh,
this, all just
like
like
a
beads of
whore
sweat.
in church. Oh, damn.
Like a whore in front of the judge.
Mm.
And the thing is that I kept getting them back to back to back to back. So I would
Wait.
stop
Did
one,
you moan?
3 minutes later, say it again.
Did you moan?
I kept having hot flashes back to back to back to back. It got so bad. I told my sister, I said, you know what? I swear to God, I'm about to take my shirt off. I have to get out of here. I'm going to take my shirt off because I'm so fucking hot. I got to get out this store. And before that,
You're getting your PD Pablo on.
man, helicopter, right? And so that was my experience with hot flashes. So then, also so like I said, that's probably the most common one. But also another common one, which is a big one that you and I have discussed, and pretty much every last one of my friends that are in perimenopause have discussed this with me. Sleep problems. So nearly 60% of women report not being able to sleep, or they
Mm,
fall asleep and cannot sleep all night long.
yep,
That's a big
that's
one.
me every day. Every
That's
day.
huge.
Be prepared to get Instagram and pug videos between 3 and 4:30 in the morning because 'cause I'm just, rolling.
Except when I'm awake and I need this shit, and then I text you, I'm like, "Hey, I know you're up." You're like, "I don't hear anything back from you until 8 o'clock in the morning." I'm like, "Oh, so the night I'm up, that's the night you wanna go to sleep? Really?
Sometimes we miss
Really?"
each other by an hour, though. We go back and go, "Bitch,
Yeah,
I said, oh, I got you." And then I'm like, "Hello?" So then I miss you, and I think you end up falling asleep because it is
yeah,
a disjointed sleep, right? I can
yeah,
catch myself for maybe 2 hours straight just scrolling, but then I'd fall asleep, and then I'd wake up again. I'd fall asleep, then I'd wake up again, so it is kinda broken.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
and then I wake up, I don't know how long, and then I wake up at 8, right? So, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's sucks. It sucks shit. It sucks dick. You
It's
know
it
why? Because I'm
yeah,
gonna be sleep like right. What time is it right now? 7:07. Give me about 23 more minutes. My ass will be asleep, so I can
pretty
get up
much.
at 1, right? Because I have to make my time.
Yeah,
So,
so that's a common one, and then the 3rd most common menopause symptom is brain fog. It says that 40% of women experience brain fog, and those 40% are saying that it affects their performance, their work performance, which I
yeah.
can say firsthand. So here's the thing with me about the brain fog. I feel like the brain fog has been the number one most dominant issue with
Mhm.
mine.
Mhm.
Yes, hot flashes were a thing. Yes, not sleeping was a thing, but the brain fog was so unbelievably real. And for me, it had me questioning, probably like a lot of other women too, it had me questioning myself, my ability, my skills, all of those things. Because by no means do I consider myself to be like a scholar and a super smart person, but I have done some pretty noteworthy things in my life. I've done some things. I've had some accomplishments that I'm proud of.
Right.
So when
And
this
now I can't remember
brain
it.
fog and now I can't remember what the accomplishments were, but I know I did
What were they?
something.
I don't know, bitch, but I did them.
Right, right. Well, no, but the problem is that then I started finding myself in this place where I almost was questioning my sanity. Am I getting dementia? Am I going crazy? I would get an email from somebody and I would find myself reading that email 4 or 5, maybe sometimes even 7 or 8 times, trying to comprehend what was in the email. And then I'm like, am I going crazy? I would send it to my husband or my daughter or someone. I'm like, what does this mean? And they're like, oh, it means X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, how do you know that? 'Cause we read it. I'm like, "That is not computing for me." And that bothered me for a very long time. I didn't know what was going on, and I've heard countless women say something similar to that.
Well,
How do you feel?
most
Can you
people,
attest to that? Is the brain fog a thing for you?
uh, that's me every day. But we do have a mutual friend, and she makes a hella slamming spinach dip. Shout out to you.
Mm,
So
mhm, mhm.
she told me exactly that she was starting to question, "What the hell is going on in my life? I'm, like, going a little crazy. I don't know, how did I just all of a sudden become incompetent? I know I'm not.
Right,
I've been doing this
right.
job for such a long amount of time, I could do it in my sleep, but now I'm not sleeping,
Yes.
do the damn job." And to the point that I believe and then I had another friend who actually had to take time off, literally take a little bit of a hiatus from work
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I mean, if she didn't do that well, I'm just saying, she had other reasons as well, but let's say that if you didn't do that and you still performed in that same manner, if you didn't take the hiatus, you may not be with a job right now, right? So, I think that was
That's a
really
real thing. That is a real thing. That's
right,
what Halle Berry has been fighting about, is trying to get some sort of, like, leave for women that go through these perimenopausal symptoms, like, when they're at their peak, when they're at their worst, that you can call in almost like a FMLA and
right.
report your perimenopausal symptoms because it's legit, like, that is legit. And when you said on there, it makes me a little emotional when you said that she was saying to herself, "I'm not incompetent." That really resonated with me because that was exactly how I was feeling. Why
Mhm,
can't I do
mhm.
this, you know? But yeah, that's what it is. And so there's also some very weird symptoms aside from the ones that I just read that doctors are saying that are absolutely 100% real. So if you've been going through this, then you don't be alarmed. I mean, this shit is real, and this is all backed by the Cleveland Clinic of North America. They have a menopause society, and these are some of the weirder symptoms that people are expressing. So one is called burning mouth syndrome. What? Yeah, I've never heard this before. I've never had this before, but I have heard of it. Some women feel like their tongue or their mouth is burning, even though there's nothing wrong.
Let me tell you something. It was this weekend, and I'm thinking it had been, like, because now it does happen with certain fruit, like pineapple, because of the spice or whatever in there, or the prickly
Yeah.
things, you get that, like, sharp, like, your entire tongue feels like it's been, like, sandpapered. It's
Mm.
But the fruit salad had none of that. It had strawberries, it had grapes, blueberries, which I didn't even eat, and I think that's all I ate was really the strawberries, and my tongue felt like it was on fire every time I ate the fruit. I'm like,
Really?
"What's going on?" So I wondered, it's crazy that you just said that. Now, it could have been just a reaction or something because, again, I know that perimenopause can also just out the blue decide, "Bitch, you are allergic to this now," or and you don't
Yeah.
like this anymore," or you like pickles that taste like dick. You don't know. It's just some weird
Did
shit that, I mean, I'm not even pregnant anymore, you know? But
you
maybe
say
I'm
pickles that taste like dick? Is that what you
no.
said?
No, you have a nasty mind, Kendra. I did not say that.
Just gonna sip my wine on that one. Anyway, so okay, so you may have that's odd. I mean, that's interesting that you may experience that. Okay, so another one, and this one I have experienced it and it was weird and I didn't know it was part of perimenopause. I thought my body
Mhm.
was falling apart. Electric shock sensations. Some women feel random little electric zaps in their body or in their head. And this is from the North
That
American
sounds
Menopause Society.
maybe shock your elbow or something, I but I would not know because unfortunately my house is like a lot of carpeted areas and we shock the shit out of each other, dogs, everybody. So we're just bing, bing, bing all over the place. So either it's my menopause or I'm actually, you know, shocked with
No,
yeah.
it's like I feel this every now and then. I always feel a little doop, doop, doop right there in my head. I feel like only way I can describe it is like a little piece of lightning. It's almost like your head got wired by a drunk ass electrician who lost his license and is doing shit on the side on
Are
Facebook
you
or something.
serious? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a little and I'll be like, "Ooh, what was that?" And I'm thinking, you know me, I got an aneurysm, Elizabeth, I'm coming, like I'm on my way, right? But
Uh,
they're saying that this is something through perimenopause.
No, that's the aliens that came down and start probing your ass because I'm like, that's some crazy shit. Doot, doot,
Yeah.
doot. Oh
Like
my
a little
God.
lightning. You know how you see the Harry Potter character and he has a little lightning
Yes,
bolt right there? That's straight up my head. That's straight up my head.
that's
Not all
Kendra,
the
that's
time.
crazy. So to what's funny is that we get to just between us 2 compare all of these symptoms and then say who which we either because a lot of them we share, but I haven't
Yeah.
had that. That's interesting, right? So it's
And I
interesting to
haven't had
think
the
about
burning
this.
mouth. Yeah,
Yeah, and so to hear from our listeners as well, what have they, out of this list, and if we miss something from the list, is there something new? I would love to hear that.
for sure. Absolutely. Because like I said, there's at least 40. So we know there's a lot of stuff we didn't even cover on here. But
Mhm.
this one, which I get so much, is called formication. And it's basically this sensation of skin crawling. Like, so feeling like something, like a bug or something is crawling on your
Yes.
skin.
Yes.
I
Okay,
get
what is
that
that called?
all the time.
Yeah, and what is that called?
Formication. Formication.
It's formication!
So we got formication, confabulation,
Satan.
and we're gonna get some more Asians
Masturbation.
in there.
Oh, yeah.
Celebration,
Those are the
burning
Asian
tongue sensation. Oh shit. Oh shit. We're on a roll.
celebratoriation. I don't fucking know. Sleep station.
Master. Okay, never mind.
I
Okay,
said that.
so
You already said it. You missed it.
oh, you did? You said it? Oh, okay, okay. I should have known you said it. Nasty. So I get bugs. I feel like bugs are calling on me all the time. I feel like it happens so often that now I don't even look anymore. Before I used to be like, Gerard, the family be looking at me like, "There's nothing on you." I don't even do that shit anymore. I don't even do it. Now I feel it and I'm just like, "There's nothing there," which I need to get back to looking because one day I'm gonna look down, it's gonna be a fucking tarantula or some shit on me and I have a whole
Right.
heart attack.
Do you
Yeah,
remember when
so
we were at do you remember we were at Palace Station and we walked out to the parking lot and I saw either a bee or something, and then you decided to almost get naked in the middle of the parking lot? Thank God you didn't.
yes, I do. I definitely remember that. Yes, I
And that was
definitely
real.
remember that.
That was not menopause, that was real situation, real life and death right there.
That was and because and there you go. I probably felt that sensation of the bee on me, but I probably thought it was formication, formication, whatever it was, and didn't even trip, and then you said there's a bee. So, going forward, I told you that this day too, if you ever see a bug on me, just take that on off. Don't say anything because
Yeah.
unless you wanna see me out
Any
there, ponytail off, shirt off, running around looking like a crazy mole rat, that's what you're gonna get. That's what's gonna happen.
There you go. Okay.
Strong AF to deal with this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so another weird symptom, and this one I feel like is a little embarrassing, and maybe a lot of people don't want to admit it, but it's a true thing that happens.
Mhm.
So, one of the other strange symptoms is that there's body odor changes because the hormones, how do you make a
Mm,
hormone? The
right.
hormones can change sweat glands, and your natural smell will change, all due to
Hmm.
hormones. So,
Mm,
for me personally, I feel like I'm not a stinky like, I'm just not a stinky person. Just
mm,
even if I'm sweating, even if I just have never been that person. But I
mhm.
have noticed lately, like, I can go I can go jogging or something. I can go do a walk in the neighborhood and I come back. So, for instance,
Okay, okay.
Saturday, I was in
Okay, guys, don't let her lie to you. She doesn't go jogging.
what?
She doesn't do soft jogging. She doesn't do that shit, guys. Don't let her fool you. Don't let her fool you.
Yeah, why am I lying? I wasn't jogging, but I will tell you this: Saturday night, I had to go into the city. I had to go into San Francisco, and I was trying to get to the store, and
Uh-huh.
it was like there was the Lunar New Year parade there, so I couldn't even get there. I had to stop and park at a parking garage, walk like 6 blocks, and I was going to Louis Vuitton, so I was still trying to be very cute when I went in. By the time I got to Louis Vuitton, I was a stinky, sweaty, wet, hot, nasty mess, and I was like, "Oh my god, here I go, walking into Louis Vuitton looking a hot ass mess like this." So I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna need a shower by the time I get home. So yes, if that is a real thing that happens, if you if you see one of your sisters out in the public and she's smelling a little tired or a little off, don't embarrass her. It's probably perimenopause, and just be like, "Girl, I got perimenopause too."
True that. But do you remember when we were working together, and you kept on smelling like onion, and you're like, "What the what's that stink in here? I know I don't smell." I said, "You smell me." I said, "I don't know." She goes, "I don't know why I keep smell, but it stinks like onion. I can't take it anymore." And when you finally got home and you took off your bra, you realized you had a garlic bagel and that shit all fell into the bra and it was warm and it emitted the smell. So it wasn't perimenopause, but it was a peri bagel.
greedy, greedy eating syndrome. Greedy eating syndrome. Just
Right?
yes, I remember that very well. Yes, I was eating a garlic bagel, and one of the little garlics I must have fell in my bra, and all day I was like, "What the f- is that smell?" Okay, that's a whole nother story for another time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so basically, so if you really think about it, it's almost like a second puberty. And it was so crazy is that my little 13-year-old daughter told me this. She was like, it's like puberty in reverse. It's like,
Wow.
we
Yeah.
right? Like puberty in reverse. You're going through the same thing. Mood changes, your period stopping instead of starting. There's body odor, there's anxiety, there's all the
Extra
things that go
hair.
along.
Extra hair growing, when you start your puberty, you start getting hair. You know what's crazy is that you know how
And
they show the
losing.
life yeah, they show the lifestyle of the life cycle of a human where you start as a newborn and you're crawling into a walking, and you become a adult, and as you start to decline, you go to an aid, or then you're starting to and you just you kind of revert back to what you were. So that kind of really makes sense as a reverse
A
what
reverse puberty.
yeah, it's like a reverse puberty, and it makes sense because we're
Yeah.
now reverting back to we can't have children anymore, right? So
Yeah.
we're going
Right.
back to like the beginning again. Um,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And finally, one of the other symptoms that people don't ever tell you about is the anxiety. Do not let anyone tell you that that is made up, that it's make believe, that it doesn't happen. Anxiety is real, and over 40% of women report
Yes.
anxiety or mood changes during perimenopause. In fact, one of the catalysts for Jay and I starting this show was to talk about menopause and perimenopause, hence the name mood swings.
Mhm.
'Cause that was some shit we could really tell you about. That was some shit we were really going through. So, yes, that is true, and here's the thing that's crazy to me too. So many women don't understand perimenopause. They don't know about the symptoms. They don't know that anxiety is a major one for them. I was talking to my sister's friend who's much older than me, who's been in this longer than I have, and didn't even realize that's what was happening to her. She was going through massive anxiety, and she said that every time that she would get in a car and start driving, she would get this like crippling anxiety and she couldn't understand why, what was happening to her. And it wasn't until a little later when she went to the doctor and kind of started spouting off different symptoms that they told her, you are
Mhm,
in perimenopause. Anxiety is so real in perimenopause. It
mhm,
it just it makes me so sad that all these women are being told that they are need to be put on antidepressants because they're depressed or that other things are happening. It's just stress and just life and no, you're not anxious about anything. It's your hormones. It is hormones setting fires in your brain. That's what's
mhm.
happening. And you need that type of support, not someone telling you, oh, you're just anxious because you have to do the dishes and go to work and commute. No, no, bitch. I'm anxious because my hormones are playing Russian roulette right now with me.
And the
Mhm.
female body is such a wondrous thing, just like the human brain. Our bodies conform and contort to house a human being from conception to birth. You know what I'm saying? And, we bring it all the way up here. Our everyone has the same amount of intestines, but our intestines are up in our lungs while we're trying to carry these children. And then for some reason, find a way to get them to come back to in place. And we're expected to bounce back to pre-baby weight, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Be normal,
Yep.
just like why can't you do that? You don't realize the trauma that your body has went through for almost 40 plus weeks. And then I don't know, times how many children you have. Or unfortunately, you're going through a stillborn or have abortion or anything like that. There's still trauma to the body, right? And then all that to have
Yeah.
every month a painful and bloody cycle of shedding of your insides every time that is
Yeah.
makes us feel embarrassed first off to do so, even though it is a blessing because that lets us know that we can give life, right? We can be a
Yeah.
provider, and then when you lose that ability, it's embarrassing again because we're like, are we still women? Are we able still to be able to perform or the way we do? Why is my libido so low? Am I still attracted to my husband? Why do I have this lower pooch I can't get rid of? Why do I have a fucking Santa Claus goddamn beard that I'm trying to fucking braid back? All while still
Yeah.
trying to maintain the same lifestyle as being a mother, a wife,
Yep.
a spouse, a significant other, and a nurturer, but still trying to figure that out. And no one is there to help you figure that part out, but you got to do it on your own. Crazy thing.
And all of that you just said, right? That's going on with your perimenopause symptoms. But on top of that, you're probably in this stage of life where scientists have just come out with this new study saying that people are the unhappiest they will be between the ages of 47 and 48 years old. Because if you're a woman, you're dealing with perimenopause. You're also
Hmm.
caring for aging parents. You probably even have a child that might be starting into high school and hormones and all the stuff that they have going on. You got a whole myriad of shit going on, and then you pop perimenopause right on top of that.
Oh,
It's crazy.
not only that, you could have children entering high school. You could have empty nester syndrome as well now.
And that, and
You
that, because
lose
I also
your
have a friend in that
identity.
stage too.
Right? So then
Yeah,
you're losing identity. I'm no longer a mom, right? Am I not a mom because she's not there? Or how do I re-find myself or who was before a mom, right? Who was a lover and a friend and a partner to whomever before you became a mom. But it's hard to find that person because you've been so pulled away and changed, but you're expected to come back to that, and you don't know how because you don't know your way back because all these symptoms are blocking you from being that same person 18, 20 years ago.
I mean, when you say that, so for me, I don't even know if I wanna get into that because it's super I could feel myself getting emotional just talking about it, but sometimes I look at old pictures of my mother from when she was, like, in her 20s, and I
Mhm.
imagine the girl that she was. Because you forget when you see your mom as
Yeah,
your mom, you think that's your mom, and she's been a mom your entire life. You forget that your mother, like you, had dreams and ambitions and, things that she wanted to do in her life, and, you know,
yeah,
I look at these old pictures of my mom, and I just try to piece together things that she told me about her youth, and I try to see her as that person. You forget that
right.
mothers, they have relationships and
Yeah,
all those things. Yeah, yeah. So
struggling
anyways,
through the same thing, and again, as I said, our mothers went through perimenopause, didn't have us in any knowledge. We were young. We didn't understand. We had our own needs, and they still needed to continue to either be a partner in the finances and bringing home money for the household, keeping the household up, and still deal with either older siblings that might have left and having you guys in the house, and they still did it. Now thinking back, my mom was crazy AF. Now I know that either just because she was crazy as F, because she's still crazy as AF, and she's way past menopause, but when she was going through that, she was crazy as F, and I get it. So, speaking of that, you know,
yeah,
spouses, how are they expected to, and it's unfair for us to just say, "You should understand," because we don't even understand. But, a lot of marriages have been affected by this particular symptom. And that's why it should be something that is in the forefront of finding out what's going on so that we can, if we are so into two-parent homes and keeping a household together, this is part of the treatment that we need to do because a lot of the a lot of the households are breaking up because of these things, just because of the inability to cope and the lack of
yeah.
knowledge on both parts.
And I'm so glad you brought that up. That brings me right into my segment about menopause rage, perimenopause rage. It is a real thing. Again, mood swings the podcast, right?
Mm.
So first, before I even get into this, I want to shout out all the men out there that are loving their significant others through this without questioning, without making them feel bad, without making them having to apologize, but just really, truly, authentically understanding what they're going through. And if they don't understand, being willing to learn and then still choosing to be there and stay by their side. Shout
Mhm,
out to all of them. I think
mhm.
both of our husbands can be included in that because this is a real thing. I have a a family member to give me some advice. She was like, "One of my friends tried this and this was helpful for them." And it said it basically she said it made her not wanna kill her husband anymore because your husbands are right in the trenches going through this with you. I
Mhm,
saw this video of a man and a woman. They're laying in bed. It's like a Sunday morning. She's reading. He's watching something. And all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, I'm hot, I'm hot, I'm having a hot flash." And he gets up and he runs over there and he pulls out the fan and he's putting it on her. And she's like, "Okay, all right, just hold it, just hold it." He's like, "Okay, hold on." And they're all just frantic, but he's in there with her. She's sweating and trying to take stuff off, and he's holding the fan and trying to take things off of her, and he just like he gets it. And then she's like, "Okay, I'm good. Thank you." And he goes, sits back down, gets his paper back up, and starts reading, doesn't say a word. You know what I mean? So that type
yeah,
of stuff. There's a
yeah,
lot of marriages that sometimes meet their demise because it the symptoms are too big to control or the spouse is not can't understand them. I don't know what the disconnect is, but this disconnect
mhm.
comes into this marriage, and if you have to be very careful. It can ruin a lot of things.
Yeah, emotional damage because they did make a vow, though, at the beginning of their marriage through sickness and through health, right? And, sometimes, women are, again, put in the place of being the nurturer, so no matter what, when you have a sick child and or sick spouse, you are that
Hmm.
nurturer. You become
Yeah.
sick, who nurtures you, right? So in
Right.
the same aspect of this, because going through it for it's not a cold that lasts 7 days. This is
Yeah.
perimenopause that can last up to 10 years. And if
Yep.
your partner is not willing to, like you said, get in the trenches with you, 10 years is a lot of fucking time that can wear on a relationship. And again,
Absolutely.
that person may feel that this, and even though they know you need to fix it. You are not the person I married. You are a total 180-degree person of what I've known, and I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, and I'm not gonna continue to deal with it. And then the rage comes in. Oh, fuck you, that motherfucker! And then there's the divorce. So that's a sad part of it. But we
It is
have
the sad part, yeah.
two really lucky couples who make it through, of course, obviously. Not saying that they all come to the demise, but there are a lot of couples that are able to make it through. And like I said, shout out to our hubbies.
Yeah, I literally I'm thinking about this one time. I heard him breathing, and the breathing just sounded aggressive. It just sounded like aggressive breathing. And I was like, "What's your problem?" He was like, "Nothing." And I'm like, "No, you got an attitude." It's like,
I can hear it
"Babe,
in your
no, I
breath.
don't." Yeah, I was like, "Why are you breathing so damn hard?" He was like, "I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to take in the oxygen and inhale and exhale. I'm not doing anything." And so now,
Dude,
but I'm like, he's like, I'm just trying to breathe." And he's like, I'm just trying to breathe." And in that moment, I realized how absolutely crazy I was being because the man was just breathing. It felt loud. It felt
yeah.
aggressive, but it was business.
So I would have jumped on his back too. Like, you know what? That you motherfucker, you need a
You
CPAP machine, motherfucker.
shut your mouth.
That's
Right.
what I
You
said.
shut
Shut
your
your
mouth when you're
mouth when you're
breathing.
talking to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. So at that moment, he was like, putting his hands up, like, I'm sorry. So now that's kind of been like our universal thing. So because in that moment we realized that it was just ridiculous. So now when I'm a little sharp or he's a little sharp, we're all like, okay, hands up, don't shoot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then we know that that's our symbol to like, okay, yeah, maybe I
And
did
not
go a little
that. And
sideways
not
on
that.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So
Those
yeah,
are little things that make a big difference, right? Because if you didn't do that and it would continue to get upsetting and he continued for some reason being rude and wanted to breathe, it would have been that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Tell me how to give you no air.
I mean, because it is a real thing. It says that 70% of women report some sort of mood change during perimenopause. And I mean, like a huge change. Like one minute you're crying at a dog food commercial, the next minute you're in the Costco parking lot trying to fight a bitch. And listen, I can tell you from experience, that's how that shit goes, right? I
I almost got in my car, drove over and apologized. I was like, "This I'm sorry. My God, I don't know what I did." But yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing for sure. I just can't. I want one good rager though. I just want one good down home rager. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fun in my home. We can't have none. Let's do it together and fucking burn the fucking
I
city down. Let's do that shit.
I feel like
Uh,
perimenopausal women should have somewhere where they can go and just purge the fuck out because we gotta
mhm.
get it out. We gotta get it out
Like
some kind of way.
like the break rooms or like the axe places and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna create our own one, and we're gonna say we're gonna take a menopause, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in that pause, you're gonna be able to get all your anger out.
I
Now,
agree. I agree.
yeah, it only helped that one time, but we can do a lifetime membership, and then they can come anytime they want to, unlimited visits.
You can get like a monthly pass. So you can get as unlimited you want for the full month. You can go in there and fuck shit up. And it's gonna be at 62 degrees at all point because when you get that hot flash and it feels like you just swallowed the
Mhm,
sun, when it
mhm,
feels like it's a ball of sunshine, but not like happy, fun, "Yay, it's sunshine, yay!" Not that type of sun. It feels like
mhm,
Satan's pitchfork is
mm,
stuck in your throat. It feels like Satan
mhm,
himself is, like, licking the side of your face.
mhm, yeah,
That's
that's
your hot
hot.
flash. So you're gonna need a 62-degree room. Yeah.
You're like, "That's hot."
And the hot flash always comes at the most inopportune time. So when I'm at
Mhm,
work and I need to be
Mhm.
professional in front of people, all this top lip, just sweat, just beads of sweat, just everywhere. The
It's
remember the back, the tripod, all down
yes.
the middle
Mhm.
spine of
Uh,
my back is a wet,
mhm.
sweaty mess. When you're having sex, hot flash. Why? Why?
Yeah, that's dumb. Get the fuck off me. Get the well,
And it's literally like, get the fuck. No, it's really like, I'm about to get the fuck up. It's hot.
hey, and hey, right
Whatever
there,
you're
if
into.
you did that, at least you wouldn't have a moisture problem.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, because
So,
that's in the wrong area. It's wrong area. Sorry, my bad. But what I would
so
like to talk about
okay,
is the actual there is some hope. Like I said, to treat the symptoms, there is some hope. We have things like estrogen and hormone therapy and things like that, which I have not been on any of them. I'm getting ready to start my whole process, and I'm super excited because the day I
yeah,
can actually sleep through the night from 10 to 6 in the
yeah,
morning, it is gonna be I bet you anything, that's right there is gonna clear the brain fog, is gonna clear all the rage, because when you don't get a good night's sleep, that's where your attitude already starts, you know?
already. And sleep hygiene is so important. It's also, poor sleep hygiene has been linked to dementia and other cognitive impairment issues. So sleep hygiene is very, very, very important. We told you about all the doom and gloom, but let me tell you about the hope. Like I was saying earlier, research and medical funding for things like women's health issues beyond reproduction is greatly underfunded, right? And in fact, it's
Mhm,
only about 4% of medical research goes towards women's health issues. But doing so, they were able to come up with HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy.
mhm,
Now, I know that this is scary for a lot of women, and particularly Black women, because we know that historically the medical field has not always been truthful with us.
mhm,
So I wanna just kind of demystify some of the misinformation that's out there about hormone replacement therapy. Now, my OBGYN, who's been my OBGYN since I was 23 years old, when this all happened and she told me I had perimenopause, I was almost in disbelief because I was like, that's for old people. Like, I literally had on Hello Kitty socks when she told me about it. So I was like, I know you talking to somebody else because I'm youthful as fuck. Like, that's not me, right?
right.
But she also told me at that time, there's things you can do. You can try hormone replacement therapy. It immediately scared me because I remember back in like the early 90s, maybe late 80s, you would hear about how hormone replacement therapy was related to breast cancer. And all these women were getting breast cancer and they were dying based on these synthetic hormones that they were taking to replace their estrogen.
Now that again, that
Well,
was back in the '80s, right? So,
that
fast
was.
forward to modern cars, you know.
And thank you to Miss Henrietta Lacks. Because of her, we now know more about hormone replacement therapy and how it would work in our bodies if we stop using synthetic hormones and started using bioidentical hormones.
Mhm,
Bioidentical hormones are exactly what it says. Identical. So estrogen and progesterone cannot be created outside of the female body. It just can't. They can't create it in a lab, but they can get very close with using bioidentical hormones. These come in the form of creams, like a vaginal cream. It comes in the form of a patch. I've heard Oprah talk about something about like a click. So I don't know if she's taking like a pin that she's shooting. I don't know about that.
oh,
But
I thought you said clit. I'm like, "Yes, we all have one, hopefully."
a click. Oh,
My bad, okay. Mm.
speaking of clits, you didn't tell them on the one part. Should we scare the hell out of them with that?
Oh,
Wow.
shit, oh god. That could happen during any time, right? You just when I said that everybody has one, until a certain time, and then
No,
again,
they don't.
suck back into your body, or you just look down there one day and go, "Where the fuck is it?"
So that's
Yeah.
that's one more
So
strange symptom that we should have talked about. That during perimenopause or during menopause, your labia begins to atrophy. It can.
yeah.
It can begin to atrophy, and if it does, it kind of gets reabsorbed into the body and
Well,
it goes
my
away.
husband exercises it a lot. It shouldn't be as long as the muscle is continue to be worked, should be fine. I can lift a barbell, that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? My
Good for you,
mandible
girl.
good. And that's something like that. I'm just
Well
right now. I'm doing it right now.
well, for other women, it could possibly go away, and so there is the cream, there's a so and also a lot of women experience, like, painful sex. It
Okay.
hurts upon entry, things like that, so you can use this HRT cream that you put in every 3 days or so. I have on very good source that tells me that use that cream that says she's been rejuvenated back to, like, she was 17 years old using that cream.
Okay. Nice.
Do with that what you will, but that's what I've been told. So,
Now, can you, because that's already a hormone or a bioidentical hormone, you can't double up on a patch or a pill or anything like that, right? Because or is it, or can you?
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. So for me personally, I am taking estrogen and I'm taking progesterone hormone replacement therapy. So I
Hmm.
take my estrogen in the form of a patch that I put in a place somewhere in my body, and I take a pill for progesterone every single night. The progesterone, when they work in concert together, they begin to thicken up the lining of
Clitoris.
after so when my doctor first told me about the hormone replacement therapy, I was like, I'm not. I did some research. I found out that it's perfectly safe now, that there's been so much new testing. They're using bioidenticals. And my doctor also tried to convince me, also told me that she's on hormone replacement therapy and has been for years and years and that she feels great. And I will say this there's only a certain window of opportunity. If you go over the age of 60, you probably wouldn't be eligible anymore to get on HRT. So it has to be before age 60 or within 10 years of menopause onset. So one of the whatever comes first, right? So you want to make
Okay.
sure you do that. You do your research for what works for you. Now, I'm
Okay.
going to say this, when I first got onto hormone replacement therapy, it wasn't like instantaneously. Like I said,
Hmm.
I've heard Oprah talk about, she says, when I had those first 3 clicks of estrogen, I was like, "Oh," Oprah, she says that. That wasn't my experience at all. I'm gonna give it to you 100% real. That was not my experience. I was
Hmm.
on HRT for probably a good 90 days before I really kind of seen the benefits of it. So much so that,
Really?
I'm a very yeah, I'm an instant gratification person, and by, like,
Hmm.
the 2nd month, I was like, "This is not doing anything, I don't wanna do it anymore." And I told my doctor,
Hmm.
she was like, "Please just stick with it, I promise you, it's worth it, just stick with it." And I trust my doctor, like I said, I've had her since I was 23. So, I stuck with it, and right around that 90-day mark, I remember waking up and being like, "I don't feel like shit. I
Hmm.
actually have a libido, I actually wanna, be intimate with my husband. I feel so much better. And so then from there, it just gradually got better and better and better. And then I was like, I'm back to me again. I feel like me again, but
Hmm.
me like 10 years ago, right? The
Wow.
10-year ago me. Yeah, the
Hmm.
young lady me. That's how I began feeling again. And it was so I started feeling better. The brain fog started lifting, the joint pain. My hip used to hurt so bad, I felt like an old lady, which would embarrass me. I would get up out of a seat, and I'd be like, "Oh, oh, oh." All that stuff started lifting.
Yeah. I have that frozen shoulder, and I can't wait to be on there to fix that. Hmm.
The frozen shoulder, all of that. Remember I was telling you about this one mysterious, symptom I had that I wanted to wait to tell you guys about? And this is
Hmm.
how I knew I was in perimenopause. Um, I was having really, really bad heart palpitations. So
Oh.
much so that I went to my primary care physician, who also I've been with since I was 23 years old, and I loved him as well. And he doesn't know anything about perimenopause, and he's a whole physician. And he said, let's put you on a Holter monitor. I want to monitor you for 7 days and just see what's going on. He put me on a Holter monitor, nothing abnormal. And I remember vividly because I was in graduate school at the time and I had to get up and give a presentation. And I was embarrassed because I had the wires from the Holter monitor that I was trying to stuff in my pocket so no one could see it. And so when I went to my OBGYN, fast forward about 2 years later, no, probably about 4 years later, and I was telling her about all these things, and she says, "Have you ever been having heart palpitations?" And I was like, "Yeah, I thought I was having a heart attack, that my heart was failing." And she told me that that was a symptom. So I say all that to say, once I got onto hormone replacement therapy, no more heart palpitations.
Wow.
So it
Awesome.
worked. It worked very, very well for me. And so, also, I tried some natural stuff first prior to this. I have a cousin-in-law who told me about trying evening primrose
Mhm.
evening primrose oil tablets. I took those, they would make me nauseous. I didn't feel like they were doing anything. I stopped those. I was doing all type of holistic things. Nothing really worked until I got on this, and I stayed on it for a good 90 days.
And the key is consistency, right? Like, you can't just have the
The
patch on one
key
day.
is consistency. Exactly, exactly. You have to be very diligent about it. The patch that I'm on, I change it every 2 days. So I have a timer set on my phone. Every 2 days, it's time for a new patch. I take progesterone every night, have a timer on my phone, 10:30 in the evening, take progesterone. Now, what I will say about the progesterone, it has a calming sedative effect to it, and they tell you to take it at night. That's
Mhm,
what helps you sleep and brings you calm, gets that rage out of you, but it also works in conjunction with the estrogen to help form the walls of your
mhm,
uterus.
mhm.
So, I've been taking this progesterone and I've been sleeping like I'm 25 years old. There's no more sleepless nights, none of that. I sleep. And Jay, you know, because you're so very all everyone is jealous of my sleep now because I sleep so well.
'Cause you
But
don't
I
answer
will tell
the
you
calls
this.
anymore.
No, I'm sleep. I'm sleep all night. All night long. And it has it has a very calming effect. You just feel better. You wake up in the
Mhm.
morning and you feel better. That anxiety is gone, that angst is gone. You just feel better. So, now I will say this, at some point I was on the very lowest dosage of progesterone, and I stayed on that dose for probably about almost a year,
That's
and
what you on it did. Mhm,
eventually I just woke up. I couldn't sleep anymore, and I'm like, "What is happening?" I woke up and I started feeling a little bit of hot flashes again. A little bit of the brain fog came back, not in the big way like it was, but I was feeling it creep back, and I immediately freaked out, called my doctor, went in and saw her. "What's
mhm,
going on?" She said, "We're gonna go up to 200. We're just gonna go up. I put you on the lowest dose. We're just gonna take you 1 dose up, and we're gonna try it." She put me on 200. Now, I stayed on 200 probably about a good 4 months, and then I started having issues where I was bleeding all the time, every day.
mm.
Nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. That's not fun. So I'm telling you these stories to tell you, if you try it and something goes awry, please don't give up. Don't just say, "It didn't work for me."
Yeah.
Sometimes
Mm,
it takes a little bit of doctoring to get it to work for you. It's not a one size fits all. You might need a little
mhm,
tailoring for you. So I went back to my doctor. She says, "Okay, and here's the thing, remember, I wasn't having any periods. I was going 8, 9, 10 months not having periods. I wasn't having any periods from not having a period to having a period for a good 3 weeks, right? So I go back to my doctor. She's like, "Okay, we're gonna try something else with your progesterone. We're gonna keep you on the 200, but instead of you taking it every day, we're gonna have you take it for the first 12 days out of the month, and then after that, we're gonna have you go off. We're gonna have you doing that." So that's the cycle that I'm on now. And now I'm seeing some like, okay, this is starting to work for me. This is where I need to be.
that's a lot to remember though,
Well, I
right?
because I set a timer in my phone, I set a timer on my
Mhm,
Alexa, so I'm on it. You just have to set a timer to help you remember, and I did it in my doctor told me this. She said, "You do it on the 1st of the month, so it's help easier for you to remember. So just remember 1 through 12, you're not gonna take them.
mhm.
After that, 13 through the 30th or the 31st, you're on them. So,
You
it's easy for me
you
to
know
remember
what'd
that
be
way.
kinda you know what'd be kinda cool is if they did it like birth control pills and the rest of the time are just placebo, so you're constantly still taking it, so
Mhm.
you don't have to
Mhm.
worry about it. Yeah. Well, I'm so excited that I can start my journey, and I will definitely report back once I get my results back from my lab work, so I can hopefully start getting onto stuff because I'm already reaching the area where I can't take it anymore. So I gotta get on this shit.
You're not 60, Jay.
Getting
You're not even
close.
halfway to 60. So
Might as
what the
well be.
hell? But yes, but don't wait. The sooner you do it, the sooner you're gonna start feeling better.
Yeah.
The sooner you're gonna thank yourself. You're gonna be pissed and go, "Why didn't I do this earlier? Why didn't I
Mhm.
do this earlier?" And you still go in for your mammograms. You still go in for uh your gynecological visit so that you're still making sure that nothing is, hurting you or getting in the way or anything like that. But you
Mhm.
wanna make sure that you feel better. Because what the best thing that's gonna happen to you is that you're going to reach therapeutic levels. That's what's gonna happen. Your estrogen is gonna come back in a way, your progesterone is gonna come back in a way where it's therapeutic, and then you're gonna go back to feeling like your old self for sure.
Mhm. I cannot wait. Because then you also because you're feeling good about yourself. I can't wait for that. But that was some good information.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I hope that this helps somebody that's out there. And if you want to learn more about it, you can go to the Menopause Society. There's a whole society where you can get all type of information. You can get scholarly references. If you want something that's factual and based in science and peer-reviewed studies you can read, you can also go to the Journal of Medicine as well as the Mayo Clinic. Those are all really good resources for any type of menopause information.
And please know that this is not just a one and done because we are mood swings. This is going to be a topic that will continue to be addressed on our show. And again, if you have any things that you want to bring to our attention, please email us at mood@moodswingspodcast.com.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So now let's get to our viewer of the week. So this
Ah,
person is getting inducted into our swing
yeah.
sets. Yes. This is someone that we appreciate that is always supporting the show. They're commenting on our YouTube, they're commenting on our Instagram, they're following and sending out stuff about mood swings all the time. So we want to say thank you and honor you by making you a member of our swing set and our fan of the week. And that goes to Baby Stuffins for Goth Play. Yes. Thank
Baby
you.
up
Baby
for golf play.
Stuffins. Wait,
Yay!
Baby
Oh, that you
Puffins,
sound
Baby Puffins.
baby puffins.
Yay!
Love it. He sounds stupid, but, I do love the fact that Baby Puffins actually makes funny comments on our YouTube pages, so and that's the only reason why
He
I'm saying
does.
that. The big joking on here. Yes, thank you so much, Baby Puffins, for golf play. You are our fan of the week. Woo! Welcome to the
Fan
swing
of the week.
set.
Welcome to the swing set.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right, Jay. Well, this has been a good show, right?
It has been for sure. So again, I look forward to more of those because again, I'll be bringing up my updates. You continue to give your updates, and I hope we can start sharing more stories with our listeners and sharing stories from
Yeah.
our listeners. So, and then we're gonna also just let you guys know we're starting a segment called "Fix Your Crown." And so, if you are someone who wants to share a shout out to one of your women that you appreciate and you want to shed some light and fix her crown, please give that shout out to us again at moodswingpodcast.com, and we'll make sure to fix her crown on our show. Listen in. I have a little bit more left, so I guess I can still cheers with you. So I love you, Kay.
Love you, Jay. Cheers. Clink, clink, clink.